Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Embracing Joy podcast. I'm so excited for our special guest today, Dr.
Yep.
Ruth.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So, our topic today is about reclaiming your energy and reclaiming your joy. Okay. So, Dr. Ruth, let me tell you more about her and why she's such an expert on this topic. She is a functional medicine practitioner and she's a board certified internal medicine physician. And she specializes in helping high performing women reverse chronic symptoms and reduce their dependence on medications and restore their energy, focus, and vitality. Her expertise lie in identifying and addressing the root causes of burnout, hormonal imbalance, and chronic fatigue. And she uses
Mm.
personalized, science backed approach that includes lab testing with lifestyle and nutrition changes. So, thank you. I think, this is an important topic that a lot of our listeners are excited to hear about because it's not something that is commonly spoken about in the medical community as far as like addressing chronic fatigue or addressing energy. So, yeah, so thank you.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here with your community. As you mentioned, I am an internal medicine physician, and most importantly, I fall into the category of the women that I care for. And what I realized is as we get older, late 30s, early 40s, we start to have these really non-specific symptoms, and it looks like depression, except antidepressants are not helpful. Our lab work tends to be normal, but we are also not feeling great. And so I wondered, I said, if a woman falls into that category, what is she supposed to do? How are you supposed to exercise or eat right and do all the things when you are not feeling like yourself? And so when you come into the world of perimenopause, the main symptom that a lot of the women who come into my clinic report is I don't feel like myself anymore. I don't know what happened. I turned 40 and I have no idea what happened. And so that's where I started getting interested in looking at functional medicine and also looking at root cause and trying to help women develop a personalized plan that will help them live their best life in terms of vitality. Because I really truly believe that age is just a number and really should not determine how well we feel and how much we can do in our community, with our families, and for ourselves as women.
Oh,
So,
I love that. Yeah, that you took that on and instead of just letting it go to the wayside, you decided to say, let's look deeper at this subject. Why are women feeling fatigue even though their labs are normal? Let's look deeper. So, I think that is something to be praised. But with that being said, we usually start off with a little short game. It's a warm up
okay,
game.
okay.
Yeah, it's called
I went
Converge.
right into it.
No. That was you went right into the summary of what you do, which is part of your bio. So that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. But yeah, so let's start out with the game. So the game, you'll say, we'll both say the first word that comes to mind on the count of three. All right. So,
Oh,
and we try to see if we can say the same word. So, for in the next cycle, so we say one, two, three, say the first word that comes to your mind. And then the next cycle, we do the same thing, but we try to come up with a word that connects the two words. Is that kind of clear?
uh-huh.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So, for example, like if I say one person says apple, the next person says chair, and then together we said tree because they kind of connected somehow, right? The tree
Oh,
and
okay. Okay.
yes. Okay,
Okay.
ready?
All right.
Okay. All right. All right.
All
So
right.
one, two, three.
Pen.
Boat. Okay. I don't know why boat was on my but boat and a pin. Okay.
Okay.
Something that connects boat and a pin.
Vic
Okay. Ready?
one. Uh-huh.
One, two, three. Wood.
Vacation.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All
That's
right.
fine. Wood and vacation. It does. I mean, you're on a boat vacation. So wood and vacation. Okay. Ready?
Wood and vacation.
One,
Okay.
one,
Uh-huh.
two, three. Mountains.
Boat.
Boat. Oh, we already said boat.
Oh, okay. You
Can't repeat.
you didn't tell me that part.
I didn't tell you the rule. I know to tell you the rule. Sorry.
I
Okay. Okay, so let's try again then. So we had a boat and
uh-huh.
wood, right? I think I
Uh-huh.
said wood. Okay, so let's
Yeah,
see
yeah.
something. Okay. And then nothing too specific, like nobody's names or something like that. Okay.
Okay.
Ready? And one,
So what is the last thing? Sorry.
I think it was wood and boat. No, it was mountains and boat. That's what it was.
Mountain and boat.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was
All
mountain
right.
and boat. Okay.
All right.
One, one,
Uh-huh. Two.
two, three.
Park.
River. River. I said a river and park.
So I
Okay.
don't know, a
So you keep
mountain like a
going. Yeah.
park, a national
So
park.
yeah. So river could be at a national park too. So something that
Yeah,
well, we
yeah.
need to say something that connects the two river
The two.
and park together.
River
Ready?
and park. Okay. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
One, two. It can be more broad.
Okay.
One, one,
Uh-huh.
two, three. Nature.
Fishing
Nature and
and
fishing.
fishing. Okay.
I think usually I try to we go like 2 minutes or so. So this will be the last round,
Last
regardless of
round.
what.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay. No,
I'm,
no,
I'm
you're
terrible at
fine.
this game.
No, no, you're good. It's just about getting. Okay, so nature and fishing. The one we get one, two, three. Bear. Oh, you need to say
Fish.
fish. No. Okay, that's a wrap
I'll
of
keep
our
my
word.
day job. I won't go on
That's
any
okay.
live TV shows.
That's okay. That was fun, but it's still
Yeah.
fun. So, and that's the point is just to have fun, not to overthink it, just to say what
Yeah.
comes up. So, with that being said, let's go into our questions for Dr. Ruth. You look okay, so you specialize in helping high performing women reverse chronic symptoms and fatigue. What are some of the most overlooked root causes of these symptoms or of burnout that keep professionals stuck in survival mode instead of thriving? Or
So, one of the main things that I've seen is a cortisol imbalance. That, in conventional medicine, when we think of cortisol, we think of it when it's very high or very low, and there is really no in between. But when you look at our physiology, there are four different levels of cortisol throughout the day: when you first wake up, at noon, and then in the evening and bedtime. So there's a whole cortisol curve that we typically don't look at. And so that could be a root cause of fatigue for a lot of women who are, in high achieving careers, because, we have the stress response cycle that happens when we are exposed to any stress. It can be good or bad stress, and so in response to that, our body releases cortisol. And over time, when you are caught in the survival mode of go go go, we tend to disrupt that cycle. And so that's something that's overlooked. Another thing that's also overlooked is thyroid disorders, because we go by the TSH. And so for most people, once the TSH is normal, there is no more testing that's done, like the free T4, free T3, total T3 and total T4, or even looking at thyroid antibodies. So, thyroid issues could be something that's also overlooked. Inflammation and also your gut health is something that's sometimes overlooked and can be contributing to overall fatigue and even eventually lead to chronic disease.
Hmm. Yeah. So thank you for explaining that for
Yeah,
us because there are these areas that a lot of doctors may not look deeper into and to
correct.
find that root cause. So many professionals feel like they just lose their energy or it just disappears no matter how much sleep they may get. What
Hmm.
are some science-backed shifts that they can make to start restoring their vitality without relying on things like caffeine? Like, what are some things that they can do to restore that energy?
So, with a lot of women who come to my practice, we look at nutrition deficiencies because one thing in America is we are all well fed but malnourished in terms of nutrients, and we overlook trace elements like simple things like magnesium, the content of that in our diet. So that's like the nutrition aspect. Also, things like ultra processed foods tend to be taxing on our system. And so just swapping a few ultra processed foods for whole foods can make a big difference in energy levels. And being outside, even, despite the weather, because the way we live is we get up from our bedrooms, we go into our covered garages, get into our cars, and go into our offices, and we stay there till evening time. We get back home. We do exercise and work out, but it's all indoors. And so, spending time outside and being outdoors can also help to reset the stress response cycle. What else? Having people around you that bring you joy, simple things as a hug for 60 seconds and more increases our oxytocin levels, and it increases the bonding that we have. And by doing that, you can reduce your blood pressure, you can reduce your heart rate, you can reduce cortisol levels, and deep breathing. So, a lot of my patients, I take them through box breathing exercises where you inhale for 4 counts. So it's basically like a box. So this is something somebody can do just starting tomorrow morning. So the box breathing, you inhale for 4 counts and hold for four, and then exhale for 4 counts, and then hold the exhale for another 4 counts. So just doing that for a minute 3 times a day is scientifically, it will reduce cortisol levels and it will help reset the stress and the adrenal system that's like in overdrive for a lot of people.
Yeah, thank you so much for those tips.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's not something that costs money to do, right? It's kind of
Correct. It's
things
free.
we can do. It's
Hugs
free.
are free. Hugs are free.
It's
Going outside is
it's
free.
free.
Deep breathing
Yeah.
is
It's
free.
free.
Uh,
Yeah. You don't need a special watch or anything to,
nope,
you
you
just
don't. You don't. You
yeah,
don't.
you just need to take a few minutes to take a deep breath, go outside and do your box breathing. It's a good start. So
Yes.
thank you.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
So let's talk about rec- reclaiming joy. How do you see joy playing a role in the healing process? And what's one small joy centered practice you recommend to anyone to begin their journey back to wellness?
So joy centered practice is whatever brings you joy, regardless of what anybody thinks. I
Mhm.
love to sing and I sound terrible, but it brings me a lot of joy.
Mhm.
I like to dance. So just moving your body, just simple things like that will help to reset, from sympathetic to parasympathetic, which is the rest and digest. So dancing, being out in nature,
Mhm.
laughing. I think everybody owes themselves a good belly laugh every day, like a good genuine belly laugh. So for
Mhm.
me, whether it's like tuning in with like my favorite comedian and just listening to them for 5 minutes. Like, because if I haven't laughed for the day, it's like a to do. It's something I need to do. I need to laugh for the day. And
Mhm.
so, laughter and connecting with things increases over time. It will increase the joy because, joy and happiness are two different things. Joy is more of something that is consistent, and
Mhm.
it takes practice to get into that. It won't happen overnight. In other words, the first day you dance, you may feel awkward because this is the first time you are dancing, and you may not identify as someone who dances or who sings or who hums. But these things with practice increases your joy, or
Mhm.
at least mine.
Yeah.
And I think
Or
it's
or they
research
have their
backed.
own. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Or some
yeah,
maybe dancing is not the source of your joy, but your joy
correct.
is from, watching children laugh, or it's from playing a game outside or playing soccer, or everyone has their own sources, like you
Yeah,
said.
or petting your
Dog.
dog,
Yeah.
or watching dog videos or cat
Yes.
videos. Some people love that.
There are millions of people love the cat videos. But how does
Yeah.
that, what role would you say that paying attention to your joy, what role does that play in managing this stress response cycle or your healing process?
So, so the stress response cycle is something that is innate to us as humans. And this dates back, to dates back. And so the idea of incorporating joy into your daily routine is that it helps to complete the stress response cycle. And the stress response cycle begins with a stressor. And so, even when you remove the stressor, the stress is still in your system. I think that's the biggest thing that made a shift for me, is that even after you've been removed from the stressful situation, your body is still processing the stress. And so, it is important to have a system where you process that stress at the end of each day. And so, for some people, it will be incorporating joy rhythms or joy prescription or joy something into your day
Mhm.
to complete that stress response cycle, basically to send a signal to your brain that the stressor is gone and you've completed that cycle. So the book that really brought this home to me was by Emily Nagoski, which is called Burnout. And she goes through what burnout is and how to complete that stress response cycle. She's a social scientist. And so this is like, so, research backed, that having joy will help to complete that stress response cycle. And it is so important that for a lot of us, once we leave the stressful situation, we feel that's it, but your body still keeps score of that
Mhm.
stress. That, cortisol is still roaming around. And so if you don't have any activity to close that loop, to send a signal to your brain that it is safe now, you are safe, it's still going to continue on the sympathetic, which is the flight and fight or freeze or fawn. So there are different, flight and fight and flight responses. So it's going to continue unless you step in and intentionally do something. It's not going to automatically happen.
Mm, mhm. I like
Yeah.
that you said that. We have to
Yeah.
be intentional. Like, it's
Correct.
about, yeah, because I think that's sometimes may get lost. It's like you go through a stressor, you got out of it and that's enough. No, now I need to be intentional about completing that cycle and for my body and my system.
Correct.
Mhm,
Correct.
mhm.
It's like something you have to do for yourself. Like you've done all these things for everybody else because that's where the stress is coming from sometimes. But it's
Mhm,
like, okay, what am I doing for myself today? And that's what
mhm,
sends the message. Yeah.
mhm.
Mm.
Okay, so let's go ahead into our wrap-up questions. So speaking of
Okay.
joy, Dr. Ruth, who is a model for joy in your life and why?
It's so funny. It's my middle son, Christopher, my one of my sons. He's just very free spirited and just takes everything easy. So it's just, and he's like a little comedian without knowing. And so, and he forgives easily and just lets things go, And so, in my immediate surrounding, he's like a constant reminder not to hold on to things and to let
Mhm.
things go and just be happy and don't overthink things. So, in my immediate surrounding, that's the person who
Mhm,
reminds me of joy. And one person that I love to follow is Brene Brown. She taught me a
mm,
lot about intentionality and emotional resilience and cultivating bravery and sometimes cultivating joy means being vulnerable. So she's like the vulnerability researcher. And so
mm.
those two people really have helped me. Yeah.
And then if you were cooking a cake of joy, what would be your top 3 ingredients, like metaphorical?
Hmm. Forgiveness will be in the ingredients. Letting go, forgiveness, letting go. What
Mhm,
else? Trying to think. What would be your last ingredient, Dr.
mhm.
Midget?
I'll I'll tell you I'll tell you yours because you sent me yours.
Yes, I did. I did.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
which
so you
one
said
is it?
oh, so I would you had humor, like having that
Uh-huh.
laughter and humor,
Yeah.
and it sounds like that's very important to you based on your previous answer. And
Yeah.
then you put humor, forgiveness, and compassion for yourself.
Compassion. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think those are great answers. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Mhm. So if we have some, definitely people in the audience that are listening, if you have any questions about what we've talked about, please put them in the chat and we'll definitely get back to you. And we've gone through most of our talk today. Just the last part is how can our audience reach you if they want to learn more about what you do in your services, Dr. Ruth?
So I have a practice in Rochester, New York, and I have also a license in Ohio. My practice is called Oasis Women's Functional Medicine. I wanted to create a space for women as an oasis, like a relief from everything that they are doing. So oasisfunctionalmedicine.com is the website. I also have a YouTube channel with the same name of practice, which is the Oasis Women's Functional Medicine. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, same name, Oasis.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. This has been such an important topic, and we've learned so much about restoring energy and the importance of taking time to not interrupt, but to complete the stress cycle by doing something for ourselves. And
Yes.
it doesn't take a lot to do something for ourselves. We can start with something simple like doing something we find joy in. We can do deep breathing. We can get sunlight as much as we can
Yeah.
so that it's a start to restoring our energy. So
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah,
My
thank you.
pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right. So if you're watching, please like, comment, share this episode with a friend, and make sure to subscribe so you're notified of our next episode. We have a new episode every week. All right. Take
Okay.
care.
Take care.
Mhm.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mhm.
Bye bye.
Bye.